Aaron Judge returns to the lineup and Giancarlo Stanton steals the show.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey. Coming up on today's show, Yankee Stadium has new food and they announced new promotions. I'm going to show you some of them. Alex Verdugo did a very nice thing for some of the younger players on the Yankees. But first, Aaron Judge is back. The Yankees played against the Pirates on Wednesday night and beat them up badly. As you all know, I record the night before, so the game is actually on next to me. And the Yankees are winning 12-0 in the 7th inning. And I will tell you why they're winning 12-0. I mean, you guys know if you've watched the games, but let's go through it because it was fun. So, as I said, Aaron Judge was back. And as what usually happens when someone comes back to a team, a ball found him right away in the first inning when he was playing in the outfield. He just missed catching a ball. It turned into a ground rule double, but he looked fine running after it, didn't do anything odd. And as I joked, people are going to be looking at everything Aaron Judge does from now until the regular season starts just to make sure that he's healthy. But Jack Curry joked about how the ball always finds you. And it's true because one time I had to fill in for a friend. Her company was playing a softball game and they were down a player. And they said, we'll stick you in right field. No one hits it. No one will hit it to you. I'm not even kidding. The first hit came right to me. Thankfully, I was able to catch it. But that's what usually happens. So Judge looked fine. His first at bat, he hits a double that splits the outfielders. It scores Juan Soto. And then Judge scores on Stanton's first of 3 home runs of the night. We'll get into that in a bit. In his second at bat, Judge walks and he scores on Stanton's second home run of the night. Just a grand slam. Not a big deal. In the 4th inning, Judge made a running play, running back toward the wall, straight back toward the wall, made the catch on the warning track, looked fine. Looked happy, smiling, no wincing, nothing like that. So everything's cool. And he was taken out after that. Trent Grisham pinch hit for him. Now, Boone was on Yes talking about Judge, and he gave Jack Curry and John Flaherty the schedule for Judge. So no Judge tomorrow because it's a long road trip for them. So he's going to stay back in Tampa and work out. He'll play against the Mets on Friday. He's going to play in the split squad home game on Saturday. He has an off day Sunday, and he'll play in the final game on Monday. He didn't want anyone to read anything into that. So Judge will play in 3 of the last 4 games that the Yankees play before opening day. Now, the rest of that first inning, Soto was behind in the count 0-2 when he worked a walk, and then he scored on Judge's double. Stanton's first home run was 455 feet, and it was over the batter's eye. You know how high the batter's eye is in George M. Steinbrenner Field. That's not an easy feat. So, yeah. Volpe hit an opposite field home run, and Verdugo hit a single past the shift. And that was all in the first inning. So the Yankees can do that all season. It'd be great. Glaber was batting leadoff, by the way. So it was Glaber, Soto, Judge, Rizzo, Stanton, Verdugo, Volpe. I think that's what it was. Second inning, Torres hits a single, Soto hits a double, Judge walks, Stanton grand slam. 453 off the scoreboard. Both of the home runs were off Marco Gonzalez. Actually, all 3 of his home runs were off Marco Gonzalez because the Pirates took Gonzalez out and then brought him back in, and then Stanton hit his 3rd home run against him. So the grand slam was off an 85-mile-an-hour cutter. I'm going to show you where the pitch was in this next graphic and show you how the at-bat went because it was the 8th pitch of the at-bat that he hit for that home run. And then he hit his 3rd home run of the night. Again, off Gonzalez, who I said left the game, but then he came back in to get his pitch count back up, and he ended up being taken out after, I think it was 86 pitches. Now, the third home run was only 426 feet. And Stanton literally reached down to get it, like on his knee, down, got it, poked it out. Unbelievable. So it was 1,334 feet of home runs for Giancarlo Stanton. Now, after his second home run, this is what Sarah Langs tweeted. She works for ESPN. She's on MLB Network. Players with two 450 plus foot / 110 mile an hour or at above home runs in a regular season game under StatCast since 2015. Byron Buxton, Austin Riley, Trevor Story. Stanton has 15 more of these home runs than anyone else. This includes postseason, but he never had two in one game. So that's the first time. Of course, it's spring training, but still that's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. Now, the first pitch he hit off Gonzalez was 82 miles an hour, and the second one was 85 miles an hour. So, yeah, Stanton was having a fun time against Gonzalez. I'm just double checking to see what's happening in the game. Unbelievable. Also, the Yankees pitchers are doing a good job keeping the Pirates from scoring. It's still 12-0. And speaking of that, I spoke about how Luis Heel could be a dark horse for fifth starter because of how well he's pitched. But I also mentioned Luke Weaver. Luke Weaver started tonight, and he did pretty well against the Pirates. Boone, in his interview during the game, said that he was happy with Weaver's outing, said that Weaver was as sharp as he's seen him all spring. He had all his pitches working. Weaver throws like 6 different pitches, and his velocity was up, 93, 95. He hit 96 once. He pitched 3 1/3 innings, gave up 2 hits, no runs, walked 1, struck out 2, and he also had a pickoff. And the last that I checked on Baseball Savant, he had 4 swings and misses, which was the most out of all the pitchers so far in the game, but that was a couple of innings ago. But yeah, no, he's making a case for himself. And Boone even said, his experience last year and how well he did down the stretch for the Yankees in that, limited time that he had also helps his case possibly for fifth starter. Boone said that he's leaving Saturday to get to Mexico for Sunday. We have some news about the Mexico game later on in segment 3, some interesting news about the game in Mexico, but I don't want to spoil it now. So good things tonight. Aaron Judge back, looking healthy, smiling, having fun during the game. Giancarlo Stanton hitting 3 home runs in a game. Yankees hitters doing things. We're 7 days away from opening day. This is the time when you want them to start hitting. So did someone else just hit? Hold on. Let me just double check. Oh, no. I thought I saw someone running out of the corner of my eye, but I did not see that. Okay. So before we get to segment 2, don't forget to reply to the pinned comment below this video. It's the last day before Fan Mail Friday. If you want your questions answered for Fan Mail Friday, just below on YouTube. If you're listening, you can join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. The link is in the description. Also, if you're watching, you can do that as well. You get texts from me and you can text me questions. There's a 14-day free trial. And coming up next in segment 2, Alex Verdugo does a very cool thing for the younger players on the team. Fire TV is your destination for sports, from live games to highlights to in-depth analysis. Fire TV offers amazing viewer experiences with smart TVs, as well as the Fire TV stick that you can plug into your existing TV that provides access to millions of movies and TV episodes, as well as free and live TV. Whether it's opening weekend for baseball or the college basketball tournaments, you're going to want to have a Fire TV. Fire TV recently created Fire TV channels to deliver a constant supply of the latest videos from your favorite sports brands, all for free. That includes all of us at Locked On and most of the big pro leagues and college conferences as well. Fire TV channels let you dive into all the game analysis, highlights, and more to keep up to date on all the latest in the world of sports. March Madness, NBA, MLB, and lots more. Not to mention great news, entertainment, gaming, travel, and cooking videos as well. Check out Fire TV channels on Fire TV and Alexa devices. If you haven't checked out Fire TV channels, you should. Trust me on this. To learn more, visit amazon.com/lockedonfiretv. And Locked On Yankees is brought to you by FanDuel. Say goodbye to busted brackets because FanDuel lets you bet on every game of the tournament. Whether you're betting on a big upset or a one seed, it's time to go dancing on America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. That's $200 to use on point spreads, money lines, and you can even pick who's going to win it all. You can bet on the men's tournament and the women's tournament. Right now on the Mets side? No. Right now on the men's side, Connecticut is leading the pack at -370 to win it all, with Houston, Purdue, Arizona, and North Carolina now rounding out the top 5. And in the women's tournament, South Carolina is leading the pack at -145, followed by LSU, Iowa, Connecticut, and Stanford to round out their top 5 to win it all. Just visit fanduel.com/lockedon and bet on college hoops until they cut down the nets. Welcome back to Locked On Yankees. Are you watching Fox Sports or ESPN on your TV all day? Have to turn it down because of all that shouting? Make the switch to Locked On Sports today, a free 24/7 streaming channel programmed for you every day to bring you the biggest stories without all the screaming. Locked On Sports today brings you can't-miss analysis, opinions, and news, streaming 24/7 on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV channels app, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Okay, so this story was in The Athletic. I will link the article in the description, and it is about Alex Verdugo. So apparently, I didn't know this, or did I know this? No, I think I did know this. The Yankees have a team barber. His name is David Castillo. He also cuts hair of other famous athletes. But the Yankees built a barbershop in the Tampa complex for him so he can do that stuff for the Yankee players. He charges $100 per haircut. Which, okay, I mean, I don't, I haven't gotten my haircut since before COVID. I've done it myself, so I don't remember how much I paid, but I know it wasn't $100, and I have a lot of hair, so. But good for you. I mean, if you're cutting hair for famous baseball players and basketball players, charge $100. You do it. But apparently, some of the younger Yankees were talking about how they couldn't afford to go to the barber, and Alex Verdugo overheard them, so he thought, I'll do it. I'll pay. So he told Brad Osmus, Yankees bench coach, to text the guys with 2 or fewer years of service and tell them that he would pay for the haircuts, which I think is really cool. Verdugo said about the Yankees, "Everyone has made me feel a part of the team since day one. It's been a very easy transition for me. I didn't do this to win over the team. It was more about trying to help the minor leaguers. I've enjoyed talking with them. They're all good guys. I just heard them talking about how the haircuts are expensive, so I said, expletive it, I'll pay." Little gestures like that go a long way. And that's true. Minor leaguers don't forget stuff like that, and they appreciate when veterans do things like that. And Castillo even said that in the 13 years that he's worked in professional sports as a barber, he said Verdugo is the first player he's come across to pay for the haircuts of his teammates. He said, "Not only an act of kindness for the players, but for me too. It gave me more work. I'm trying to provide for my family, and I'm there for work. You know the Yankee way. You know you have to look good, feel good, and look clean. A lot of these guys got to experience that Yankee way for the first time because of Verdugo." That's pretty cool. Now, Verdugo was talking about how veterans usually buy suits for the players. You've heard stories about Alex Rodriguez doing that for the rookies. There was that infamous story from Brian Hoke's book about the '09 World Series winning team when David Robertson was wearing his suit that he had gotten from A-Rod. I think it was CeCe Sabathia's birthday party, and everyone kind of went nuts and jumped into the pool in their fancy outfits. And David Robertson didn't want to do that because it was his really nice suit that A-Rod had bought for him. And they kind of made fun of him for that, but I can understand why he did that. back to Verdugo after his issues with both the Dodgers and Red Sox. It's good to see him making a good impression with the Yankees. Aaron Boone said that Verdugo is a fun kid to be around, but Verdugo knows that he needs to rein it in sometimes. He said, at the same time, we have to keep it tamed and keep it within the team rules. I think the cool thing here is everyone is held accountable for the same things. It's much easier to get behind that instead of half the guys being accountable and the other half are able to do whatever they want. Everybody here is bought in. It doesn't matter if you're Judge, Glaber, DJ, or Rizzo. Everybody is the same and everybody is bought into this. When you see the guys at the top of the level buying in and feeding into it, it's a lot easier of a transition for me to be the same way. Interesting. Is that a dig at his former team? I know that he kind of digged at Alex Cora in his opening press conference. But no, that's a really cool gesture by Verdugo. Again, it's a lot for those kids to play with the Yankees, and not just the Yankees. I mean, it's minor leaguers all over the place. Like, they don't get paid a lot of money. So, for a veteran to do that for these kids, that's just really sweet of him. And I appreciate this story a lot. And you like to see feel-good stories like this, right? I just hope that this feel-good feeling stays all year with Verdugo. Let's hope it does. And Verdugo ended up finishing the game 1 for 3. He was taken out. He was lifted for a pinch hitter this past inning. So his spring training average is 258. Not that that matters, but yeah, no, again, it's good to see Verdugo coming in, and because I know a lot of people were worried about that. Some people were worried about how Yankee fans would accept him, just because of some of the stuff that happened when he was a Red Sox and incidents that happened at Yankee Stadium with fans doing things that they shouldn't be doing to opposing players. But let's not get into that. So yeah, let's just hope it's a solid year for Verdugo. He doesn't get into any trouble and everything's good. So coming up in segment 3, there are new food items at the stadium that I'm going to tell you all about, and a couple of new promotions that caught my eye. Prize Picks is North America's largest daily fantasy sports platform. It's the easiest and most exciting way to play DFS because it's just you against the numbers. Instead of battling thousands of other players, you pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections and you watch the winnings roll in. Prize Picks is really simple to play. You can make your picks and submit your entry in less than 60 seconds. And Prize Picks now offers Apple Pay for quick and easy deposits into your account this basketball season. And even better than that, you can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $1,000 with NBA, NHL, and college basketball entries. So download the app today and find out why Prize Picks is the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Enter code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. Again, that's code LOCKEDONMLB, all one word, all lowercase, and get that first deposit match up to $100. Join Prize Picks today. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Welcome to the last segment of today's Locked On Yankees. Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube, and now it's also available on Amazon Fire TV in the free Fire TV Channels app. Locked On Sports Today is here for you 24/7, covering the top sports stories of the day with the local experts of the Locked On Network, plus our national shows covering every league. And with the NCAA tournament starting, be sure to check out the feed, which will feature team previews. Find Locked On Sports Today, now available on the free Fire TV Channels app. Okay, let's get into this because this is really exciting. So there are new food items at Yankee Stadium. I don't have pictures and I don't have prices, but I'm sure they'll be expensive and they also sound really good. So let's get into it. Okay. Fugu has sweet, spicy chicken sandwich, which sounds really good. Christian Petroni has cheesy garlic bread with meatballs and 8-hour marinara, which I'm assuming it cooks for 8 hours. I'm assuming. Mighty Quinn's has a Chipotle barbecue chicken sandwich. described as hand-pulled, slow-cooked chicken glazed with house-made chipotle sauce, served with an optional assortment of pickled veggies and slaw. That sounds good. You know what else sounds good? Lobel's. They have barbecue filet tip loaded tater tots. Crispy tater tots, Lobel's seasoning, barbecue filet tips, cheddar cheese, crispy onions. Yes, please. Whew. Sweet Bird by Marcus Samuelson has chicken wings with brown sugar babe sauce and also ranch. Brown sugar babe sauce sounds good. Then for ice cream, they're going to have Mr. Softy. I don't know if the song is going to play the entire time you're at Yankee Stadium, but it wouldn't be a real New York experience if you didn't hear the Mr. Softy song playing for hours on end. Did anyone else live in a neighborhood where Mr. Softy would park on your corner? Because I did when I lived in Inwood, and literally all day. Yeah. Then they have Blue Bunny ice cream, scoopable. Mr. Softy is obviously soft, hence the name. And then Yankee Stadium has their own creations. This one, yes, and yes. It's called a Sweet Spot Bowl. It's carne asada steak, sweet plantains, rice and black beans, pickled onions, cilantro sauce, and there's a choice of hot sauces. I'm going to need to try that. Goose Island's New York Legendary Ale. Can't imagine how expensive that's going to be, but it's only available at Yankee Stadium. And then there are going to be 2 new signature milkshakes, a Butterfinger shake and a black and white cookie shake. Now, you know about those crazy shakes if you've gone to Yankee Stadium and how big they are. So I'm assuming that the black and white cookie shake is going to have black and white cookies on top, and the Butterfinger is just going to, that sounds really good too. So like I said, I have no prices, I have no pictures, but I really want to try the Sweet Spot Bowl and the tater tots and the chicken sandwich. Yeah, and the other chicken sandwich. I want to try everything. Not all on the same day. Not all on the same day. Then we also have new promotional items and giveaways. Now, Steve and I went through some of the promotions, and you can find all the promotions underneath the schedule tab on Yankees.com. If you hit schedule, and then it'll have a bunch of other things, and promotions is underneath that. But on April 8th, they're going to have an Eclipse t-shirt, and the game actually should still be playing when the eclipse happens. Now, in New York, it's not going to be a total eclipse, not in New York City. It's going to be a total eclipse upstate. Like where I used to go to college in Oswego is supposed to be full totality. But down in New York, 91.5% of the sun is going to be covered. And the game starts at 2:05 that day, and I think complete, the main part of the eclipse is 3:55. So I think everyone's going to experience the eclipse at the game. You get a t-shirt. The one thing I'm very excited about, and I'm going to put the picture up right now, July 5th, the Costanza bobblehead. Come on, the Yankees had to do it. The Yankees had to do it. It's fantastic. I'm surprised they didn't do it sooner than now. It's kind of funny they're doing it in 2024 when they could have probably done it in 2016 as a 20th anniversary of him doing it in 1996, but we'll forgive them for that. Again, you can find every promotion underneath the schedule tab on Yankees.com. Calendar day and Yankee Socks day. And we told you about all the different jerseys, the basketball jersey, the football jersey. It's going to be fun. And finally, the last bit of news on this Thursday edition of Locked On Yankees. Trevor Bauer announced that he will be pitching for the Diablos Rojos in Mexico, which means he will be pitching against the Yankees on Sunday. He also said that he will be pitching 6 games for the Rojos in Mexico. And as I mentioned, I believe last week or maybe the week before, Robinson Cano is also playing for the Diablos Rojos. So, interesting, right? Yeah, that should be interesting. There's still not a full list of who is going to Mexico because it's not everyone from the Yankees going to Mexico. And of course, after they go to Mexico, Boone is going on Saturday. He said he's flying out there Saturday. But after Mexico, they fly up to Houston to start the season. We're here. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. So one more time, don't forget to join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. There's a link in the description below and a 14-day free trial. You get texts from me. You can text me questions for Fan Mail Friday. It's your last day to do that. And speaking of that, you can also leave your questions under the pinned comment on YouTube. And if you join the Insiders Club, though, you get top priority. But if you leave the question on YouTube, I will still get to them. I look for them and I find them. So that's going to do it for this edition of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. Thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.